I have like so many other sports to go on with. This really might just be the one and only time where it's gonna be like, oops, all support sessions. Lord, what have I done?
Hey, not too often I see you wandering in town like this.
Oh, I was just out for a walk. What about you? Are you here to do some shopping?
Yeah, Dedu asked me to pick up some ingredients for dinner.
Well, if it is food shopping you're after, then your best bet would be the boulevard past the river.
What are you so flustered for? You're not hiding something, are you?
What, me? No, not at all. It's nothing really. I'm just surprised how much you can find here.
It's a far cry from the struggling little towns dotting the rest of the kingdom, that's for sure.
Yes. Galatea is one of the regions that's found itself facing particularly hard times lately. A beautiful town like this, filled with happy people, hardly feels like it's part of the same kingdom as the blighted, barren lands I call home. The street lined end to end with blacksmiths is an especially magnificent sight. Not to mention all the wonderful smells wafting from the food stalls. Sorry, I lost myself for a moment there. In any case, it's great to see just how prosperous this town has become.
Well, come along, sweet.
Hey, you want to go take a peek at some of those stalls with me? We can grab a bite and keep walking if you want. I saw some mouth-watering meat skewers when I passed by earlier, and this time of year's got the best fruit and fish.
Truly? I'd love to try some, though it would not be proper for me to be engaging in such revelry as the future Count Galatea.
Hey, speaking of, have you figured out what you want to do yet?
Not at the moment, no. In fact, part of the reason I came into town today was to do some further searching. It's my dream in life to stand as a knight by His Majesty's side, just as my late fiancé once did. And even if I do not become a knight like he was, there must be a way I can protect His Majesty in a similar fashion. Perhaps I could teach the people of my house the ways of farming and travel the kingdom cultivating land for those who need it most.
That's an idea. Definitely an unusual job for a count, but it'll be welcome for sure. And if you managed to help the kingdom prosper while you did it, people would grow more and more satisfied with the royal family's rule. That's certainly one way to protect the king. If that's how it's gonna be, maybe I could pitch in once you finally take the title of Count Galatea. I could be your personal mercenary, just like Tobias was for your grandma.
You do realize how much work that would be, don't you? My grandmother gave those mercenaries every task under the sun, and then some.
I can handle anything you throw at me, no problem. Even if you asked me to fetch you meat skewers every day to save you a trip into town.
What? I would never.
She's totally agree with the thought of meat skewers.
Still, thank you for the offer. I will hold you to it.
And I mean, hey, nothing wrong with having something you really personally enjoy eating. I myself crave pizza almost every other time if the mood is up to it. I still got all the support I need to do, and I'm just like, what, almost about done with sessions at the moment. This is the episode that never ends.
Aha. Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's at it again. How's the book, Ignatz?
Ah! Could you please not surprise me like that?
Also, when you don't speak in all caps like that, I'm also scared to tell me. What? Yeah, it's me, Papyrus.
Sorry. So, you got more books, huh? They look expensive.
They were tucked away in my family's storeroom. I had my brother send them to me. We're a merchant family. All the books here are technically meant to be for sale.
We're having a sale.
But they've gone unsold for years now, so he sent them. Without telling my father.
As one does.
Your brother sounds like a nice guy. Are you two close?
We weren't when we were younger, but I guess we are now. We do write to each other a lot, and he listens to even my strangest requests. That's why I tend to go to him for everything. Wonder if he feels sorry for me since I became a knight for our family's benefit.
So you didn't really want to do it then?
Well, no, that's not... I did it because I wanted to help them. Now that I'm a knight for House Gloucester, I've been able to make a lot more connections with the nobility. If I use that to help my family's business, then I'm perfectly happy with where I am.
If you say so. What kind of books did you borrow?
A bunch of travel journals and collections of letters from far-off places. No matter how painful life may be, it all fades away when I read these books and imagine myself traveling.
Wait, did you just say painful? I knew you weren't happy. What you really want to do is travel around and paint all the scenery you like, don't you?
What? How do you know that?
You're not exactly hiding it. You've got books on painting techniques, preparing pigments, and all that kind of stuff right here.
Yes. The truth is, I love painting. I know the world holds all these wondrous sights that I can't even begin to imagine. If only I could see them for myself and capture them on canvas. I used to dream of doing that. But things are different now, you know? I don't regret becoming a knight, and I didn't do it just for my family's sake. I want to do my part to shape Fodlan's future. It's my responsibility as much as anyone else's. That conviction has only grown with every battle. That must have sounded so arrogant. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassing myself.
All right. If you're gonna make it that clear you don't regret your choice, then I'll stop pestering you. But this war is gonna end one day. Why not keep your dreams alive for when it does?
Maybe I will.
And we left it at that, I suppose. Nothing more, nothing less.
Oh, Yuri, you're back? I thought you'd still be away.
Well, look who it is. I figured if I didn't come back before sunset, someone might get worried and ransack my room again.
I wasn't ransacking. You're gonna keep holding that over my head, aren't you?
Just joking, friend. No need to take everything so seriously. Anyway, it's late. Shouldn't you be getting some shut-eye?
Probably, but I just got my second wind. How was your mom, by the way?
Well, it's not looking good, that's for sure. But she's still got some fight in her yet. I'd planned on staying longer, but she told me to do what I had to do and sent me on my way. One minute she wants to see me, the next she's telling me to go home. Honestly, she's all over the place.
Reminds me of my mom. The one who raised me, anyway.
She passed away, didn't she? Judging by your expression, she must have been pretty special.
She was. More than I can say. She took me in when I'd been abandoned. Taught me how to live. We weren't blood related, but she was my mom. No doubt about it.
I'm sure wherever she is now, she's very happy to hear you say that.
Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to ask you something. It's been on my mind for a while now. About your real name. Your mom gave it to you, right? Where does it come from? I've never heard anything like it before.
Look up. No, a little more to the left. See that bright star over there?
Bright star. To the left? Which one? There are thousands of stars up there, and they're all bright.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you find it or not. Anyway, it's that star's ancient name. The white star that the goddess herself made into a disciple. My mother is a devout follower of Ceros. But I know it's a pretty ostentatious name for a penniless kid.
I don't think so. It just shows how much you mean to her.
Yeah. Well, I do like it. She gave it to me after all. I'm not sure how much of the scriptures she really understands, but knowing her, I'm certain she put a lot of consideration into my name.
Then doesn't it seem like kind of a waste not to use it? What with how much thought she put into it?
I've used many names, and each one comes with its own mask. But when I hear my real name, all those facades fall away. The only people who can call me that are those who are truly special to me. Immediate family, or someone just as important. Which means that if you're so intent on using my name, you'd better be willing to spend the rest of your life by my side.
The rest of my life, huh? Okay, I'll think about it.
The look on your face right now, it's priceless. Regardless, it does make me happy to hear that you like my name. And if you ever decide you're up for it, let me know, okay? I'll think it over too, just in case.
honest, really upset I never got time to actually go over the supports in 3 houses. Maybe like do that. I would try to do that on my own time, just like a little bonus episode on my own time. Once I get around to doing so, of course, because, you know, it's back to the regular tactical games. It's going to be a lot tougher to get to support there than it is here. And if we have to do all that while just in the span of like multiple battles and multiple things, that's going to be one tough thing to do.
Hey, Sedith. What are you staring off into space for?
Oh, it is you. I was just reflecting on the monastery.
Ah, yeah. It's that way, isn't it? In the mountains.
Correct? So close, yet still beyond our reach.
Can't say I ever learned much about it when I was there, but I know it's important to the church.
Yes. It serves as the headquarters of our order. Many saints have been laid to rest there as well. As a sacred ground, Garreg-Mach Monastery is irreplaceable. It is also a place that Flayn and I hold dear to our hearts.
So, your sister feels that way too?
Due to our circumstances, Flayn and I traveled around Fodlan as nomads for a very long time. When we accepted the Archbishop's gracious invitation, I thought we had finally found our safe haven. That it would be taken from us so easily is almost too much to bear.
Well, that's all the more reason to take it back then. I'll do whatever I can to make that happen. Oh, I mean, while staying away from the Archbishop, of course.
You must forgive me for saying what I did back then. My position required I do so. I do not personally believe, however, that any evil resides within you. Whatever the true nature of your power, I trust you wield it with a righteous heart.
I mean, I kind of doubt he's being entirely sincere about it fully, but yeah.
So you finally trust me? I'm sure glad to hear that.
Indeed. I am truly grateful to have you as an ally. I know I have no right to say this after regarding you with such suspicion, but we need you. I pray you will continue to lend us your strength, not only for the Church, but for the future of Fodlan itself.
You can count on me, Sedith. What a pain. Everything all right, Catherine? Thought I saw Count Karen a second ago.
Yes, I just had to talk to my father about something. He wanted to request some of the church's soldiers as reinforcements, but I don't have the authority to make that decision. For the life of me, I can't understand why he'd come to me for something that only Lady Rhea or Dimitri could help him with.
Whoa, wait. Count Karen is your dad?
Yes. Huh. I could have sworn you knew.
I mean, some other fellow I knew in another town, I kind of knew that, to some degree, possibly. Not sure if I was fully aware of it, but, you know, could possibly be the person that's speaking above us right now. What? Never mind.
Well, I guess you do now. I am, in fact, the daughter of Count Karen of Fargus.
I had no idea. No, now that you mention it, you do bear their crest.
Things are complicated with my family, to say the least. But basically, I'm keeping my distance from House Karen for the time being. Right now, I am Catherine, Knight of Saros. No connection to any house or the kingdom.
I see. So you intend to keep serving the church going forward? But what do you think you would do if the church and kingdom broke their alliance?
A foolish question. Obviously, I would side with Lady Rhea. It's not a matter of kingdom or church. My allegiance and my sword lies with Lady Rhea and her alone. Though, of course, I would prefer not to fight my friends and family from back home. So it would be ideal for me if the kingdom and church could play nice forever.
The Archbishop's personal sword, huh? You've got one heavy blade.
What about you? What are you fighting for here? Or is it one of those, I just tripped and fell into it kind of stories?
I could have possibly doing like the funniest thing ever, just do it all 3 of these at once. I'm very curious.
I've got a score to settle with someone. Figure I got a better chance of fighting them again if I'm here.
Oh yeah? Must be a formidable opponent, judging by that look on your face.
Aside from that, you might be right. Maybe my coming to Fargus was pure chance.
I thought we would be talking about the Asher Demon himself, but you know what? Okay, just leave it at that. Just as vague as possible. Fair enough.
A civil war broke out in the capital right after I joined the Officers' Academy. By the time things died down, Rhea decided to close the school. That's when Dimitri put me in my current role.
Sounds like you've had a rough go of things too. But you're commanding Kingdom troops now, right? That's a pretty good step up. I say that as long as you're living life in a way that would make your past self proud, that's enough.
Make my past self proud, huh?
Easier said than done, I know. But it can't hurt to try, right? Just keep challenging yourself. You'll get there eventually.
Right, we're finally down to just the one on shares and a whole lot more for all the other characters that can only have some more conversations ready to roll. Good lord, I'm barely even doing much and yeah, just taking quite a toll.
So it's just no? Not under any circumstances?
It is not up for debate. This is for your own good, Flame.
Hey, you okay, Flame? Why the long face?
My brother has seen fit to forbid me from going out entirely.
That doesn't sound unusual for him. But as long as he doesn't know, what's the harm, right?
A fair point, but my brother truly is concerned for my safety. Perhaps...
It does seem like the church has enemies all over the place these days. So I don't know. I think I get where he's coming from.
As you know, my brother and I have lived in remote and secluded places for a very long time. All we had was each other. Then we went to Garrick Mach and suddenly we were surrounded by all these people. I had hoped to make many friends and listen to their countless tales of all the places I hadn't been. But before I got to really know the people at the Officers' Academy...
Everything went all topsy-turvy and the academy had to shut down.
Do you remember when we went into town together to look at the latest fashions? That was so much fun. I was looking forward to going shopping together again, but perhaps I should just let the whole thing go.
Oh, Flame. Don't give up so easily. We're just talking about a little outing here.
Even that would prove tremendously difficult for me. With the church thrown into such chaos, my brother is in a near constant state of agitation. I must not trouble him further by making him worry about me as well.
You're very kind to your brother, Flame. Just remember, it won't always be like this.
You think so?
Absolutely. Wars can't last forever, right? When this war ends and peace returns to Fodlan, taking a shopping trip will be no big deal.
If that is so, then would you be willing to go into town with me again when that day comes?
Of course. I'd be happy to keep you company. Or were you keeping me company? I forgot.
With that to look forward to, it should be no trouble to summon a little patience. It is times like this I am grateful you're not a man.
Really makes me go to swords. What would happen if I were to do the male sex conversation?
What? Oh, you mean because of Sedith?
Yes. I'm not sure my brother will permit me to go anywhere with a man, even when the war is over.
He'll never get to know any men if he doesn't. Are you okay with that?
No, but if I do it anyway and he finds out, I'm sure it would be, as I've said, utterly disastrous.
Well then, I'll just have to help you sneak out, won't I?
Oh my, would you really do that? I should have known you would be so bold.
I mean, I am kind of a fucking RuPaul person. Alright, run down. A whole bunch of others to go, but at least it's just one at a time as these characters. Not a whole bunch of them.
Is it much further, Mercedes? We'll likely need to rest soon.
We're just about there. See? It's right over that hill.
I had no idea there was a village here.
Actually, I used to live in this village once upon a time. You can see the church where I stayed in the distance.
It is a place of stunning beauty and quiet. It almost feels like coming home somehow.
Oh, Mercedes! It's been so long! Come to visit your mother, have you? It has been a while, hasn't it? And no, I'm mostly here to show my friend around. My, what a handsome young man! Are you with the Knights of Saros?
What? Oh, no. I'm the kingdom's... I'm a member of their army.
I gotta use my words wisely here. I don't want to cause a stir if this happens to be in the Empire territory, which is more likely at the moment.
You don't say. Guess that means you work closely with our Mercedes here. Well, if you've got the time, go pop into the church. I'm sure the priest and little ones will be delighted to see you.
Absolutely. Also, I do want to say hello to Mother, since we've come all this way.
I always find it nerve-wracking to meet friends of friends.
Oh, she's harmless. She works over at the church. My mother and I owe her a lot. There are many people there who share similar circumstances to our own. Too many, I'm afraid. Still, the priest accepts anyone and everyone who comes to him for aid.
Such open-mindedness is rare in these times. I wonder if it's because of the church's teachings.
You know, this village would look very different had you not accepted the central church.
Well, I've heard the most unpleasant rumors about the southern church, and I don't know how to govern all these villages myself.
I realize you know far more than me when it comes to things like politics and war, but I still thought it was important for you to see what you're protecting with your own eyes.
Which is why you insisted I accompany you. To be honest, I have no idea how the war will change Fodlan, but I will do everything in my power to protect this place, and all others like it.
Thank you, Dimitri. Let's head on over to the church. There are some wonderful views on the way there. There are fields of flowers, beautiful brooks. Goodness, so many things I want to show you. Oh, and I need to say hello to my mother and the priest while we're at the church.
I suppose I should give them my regards as well. Considering I hold your life in my hands as your commanding officer.
My, you're so nervous. Perhaps you should let me handle the introductions. I'll just tell them you're someone very important to me.
Wait, Mercedes. That may lead to some untoward conclusions.
Sorry, it was just a joke, I promise. I didn't mean to fluster you. Still, I much prefer this Dimitri to the scowly one I always seem to see.
You are a master of catching me off balance, Mercedes.
Finished giving your report?
Yes. I hope you were not waiting too long. Did you need me for something?
Need is a strong word. I just wanted to commend you. I heard that last fight was brutal, but you made it out alive.
None of us expected it to evolve into such an arduous battle. We were only supposed to be dealing with some bandits.
So you weren't injured?
I'm fine. So is everyone else in the unit, thankfully. Though even in the darkest moments, I never lost hope. All thanks to this.
My brother's spur. You're telling me that hunk of steel helped you?
Perhaps not in a practical sense, but it certainly bolstered my spirits. This spur symbolizes Glenn's pride and sense of duty, things he fought for to his dying breath. I couldn't very well give up while I carried something with that much meaning. It gave me the courage to keep fighting.
I don't get it. It's all well and good to remember the dead, but sentimentality will get you killed. All the tears in the world couldn't bring them back after all.
You have always viewed the world in such stark terms. It might even be one of your strengths. But one day, you will learn that emotions and sentimentality are also a strength, not a curse.
So the dead can help the living? Interesting idea.
Can we continue this later? I think I have earned a good night's sleep.
Ingrid, wait. Will you do something for me?
I'm listening.
Go visit my brother. This war shows no signs of stopping, which means you have plenty of battles ahead of you. And if you're so certain the dead can help the living, it couldn't hurt to offer him some flowers.
Aww.
You want me to go to Glenn's? I mean, of course. But you should join me. And perhaps His Majesty as well. And even Lord Rodrigue, Sylvain, Sir Gustav, everyone.
Are you planning to host an entire banquet at his gravestone?
That was not my original intention, but now that you mention it, a festive meal might be nice. We could all use a little relaxation, and Glenn always preferred a joyous atmosphere to a somber one.
Fine, just don't die before then, okay? Anyway, I'm keeping you. Go get something to eat and get some rest.
I will do just that. Thank you, Felix.
He's learning to just accept just accept some things, even if it's in his own way. I'm just looking at my time and like I've been recording for almost an hour and 25 minutes in. I paused gameplay earlier and like I'm not even done to finishing this whole thing yet. All because I might as well have like some backup episodes. Just on the off chance I do finish one set of recording. Good lord, this truly is the support session for that episode. Episodes, rather. We were just looking at the PNG. Yeah, exactly. It's a nice PNG, isn't it? I don't even know what the fuck a PNG is anymore. Yeah, me neither. I just thought the read is pretty good. It's just 2D. It's just a 2D image. Why am I even bothering to it anyways? Let's get on with dialogue. Okay, fine. Alright, do it again. For fuck's sakes.
Go ahead.
Oh boy! But wait, if I eat that, what are you gonna eat?
I'll buy something from one of the merchants outside.
But that costs money! This is my second helping. Or maybe third. I can't remember. Anyway, if anyone's gonna be paying for extra food, it should be me.
In that case, I'll take you up on... Wait, was that thunder?
Nope. Just my stomach. Sorry to scare you. I tell ya, I can't wait for this war to be over so I can eat as much as I want.
Look, skipping a full portion won't kill me. Why don't you take half?
Wow! You mean it? Thanks a bunch, meat buddy.
Meat buddy? Wait, is that me?
Yeah, you love it as much as I do. So that makes us meat buddies.
Whatever you say.
Hey, I've got an idea. If there isn't enough to go around, we should go hunting. That way everyone can have their fill.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I'm conversing with someone who's actually had a good idea for once. Holy fuck, how is this happening?
I know! Come on, we'll hit up the nearby forest. Petra says there's a ton of game there.
Just so happens I have some free time on my hands. So let me finish my lunch and I'll be ready.
All right! Meat buddies are unstoppable!
Wait, you forgot your food! He really is something.
So, by stationing themselves in the bog, they were able to slow the advance of the enemy horses.
Exactly. But Lug's army was prepared in other ways too. They dug pitfalls, set up anti-cavalry palisades, and more. Laying all that groundwork is what led them to victory.
It's strange how the stories of King Lug don't go into much detail about him. But once you dig a bit, you realize he was a really talented tactician. I feel like I see him in a whole new light now. Say, do you think we could use this strategy in an upcoming battle? I know we can't do the exact same thing, but in that geography book you recommended to me before...
Where have you been hiding this talent? You're absorbing everything I teach you like a sponge. I can see why Lord Lenato had such faith in you.
Oh, it's not that. You're just a really good teacher.
Even taking that to be true, you're clearly an exceptional student. I'm actually sort of jealous that Dimitri gets a great knight like you by his side. I'd love to find some reason to steal you away to my territory after the war.
Don't joke like that, Sylvain. I serve His Majesty alone.
Ooh, shut down. But yeah, I get it. Still, are you really gonna devote your entire life to being a royal knight? To live and die in Verdiad?
That was my initial idea. But I had a talk with His Majesty recently that made me reconsider. He asked if I wanted to succeed Lenato and take over Castle Gaspar after the war.
Castle Gaspar, huh? That makes sense. Adopted or not, you are Lord Lenato's heir.
I doubt the townspeople will be very accepting of me after I allowed him to die.
Wait, hold up.
Castle Gaspar, huh? That makes sense. Adopted or not, you are Lord Lenato's heir.
He skipped 2 words in that sentence. He skipped over 2 words that were in the dialogue box but not said aloud. Did anybody catch this? What? I feel like I'm the only one that actually noticed that. How in the... Who? How? Was this a strange oversight? They just decided to leave it in or what? I don't get it.
Castle Gaspar, huh? That makes sense. Adopted or not, you are Lord Lenato's heir.
How did you skip 2 words and not fix the dialogue box to fix that? What? This might be like a translation thing and not just a voice thing, but... I don't know. If it was voicing, it would have read the entire podcast is, but it skipped 2 letters. 2 words, rather. It's not 2 letters. It skipped 2 words. It's like, I'm hoping about this, but this is... If I had a nickel for every time a voice actor said something that was not entirely explicitly totally said on in the dialogue box, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's really nice happened to both of my favorite franchises so far. Sorry to be slightly tangential about this, but... I find like the weirdest things, and like I'm probably like one of the only people to even recognize some of this. There probably might be a whole group of on subreddit that knows the specific error in the question. Like I don't know. I'll continue on with this. I need to take a breather.
But I'm still the only one capable of taking on the job. Or at least that's how I like to think of it.
Sounds like a huge responsibility, all right. Definitely can't ask you to come to House Gautier in that case.
That land meant everything to Lenato, and I would do anything to protect it.
Shut up.
That land meant everything to Lenato, and I would do anything to protect it.
Okay, this might be like the case of the voice actor like correctly saying the line over his head, which I guess makes sense because that land was meant everything. Like I think this time this might have been just like a translation error, and like a word was just has remained on here despite it being like making no sense word-wise. Like this would be like an incorrect thing that Google Docs would like point out to you. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I want to help other people the same way he helped me.
I don't find like 2 continuity errors in some sort of fashion like in one support conversation. Jesus Christ.
And I think I'm finally strong enough to do that now.
I should have expected as much. But hey, if that's what you want to do, I've got your back. A little education can be handy for a night, but castle lords need to learn everything they can get their hands on.
How do you know so much about spirals? Well, you have to be a king to know that kind of stuff, you know?
So let me know if you ever need old Teach to fill your little head full of info, and I'll come running. Sheesh, listen to me. I think your serious nature is contagious.
You joke, but I think you've always been a serious person deep down. You're an intelligent man who's always got his mind on one thing or another. I mean, aside from the way you acted back at the academy.
Oh, the unkindest cut. Completely accurate, but still.
I'm excited to learn everything I can from you, Sylvain. I really am.